welcome you to the Geico Players Era Tournament on TNT. A couple of top 15 teams, number 8 Alabama and number 12 Gonzaga. Much less serious, so they hope to have him back. These are the top 2 scoring teams in the field here in Vegas, both in the top 15. Gonzaga are 5-0. Number 21 in the preseason AP poll. They knocked off 23rd ranked Creighton by nearly 30 points. But they haven't been in Vegas.
And no question, typically it's the holiday tournaments where you tend to figure out who you are. That's a nice find there by Fallon.
Aiden Sherrill. Of bigs, we know about EK, but all the size that Mark Few has now underneath. Here comes Fallon, chiseling his way to the rack.
And really good job with
backcourt tandem in the country with Fallon and Holloway. Everything that they can do. Nice little leaner won't go. Huff, stick-to-itiveness, and he's going to get himself to the free throw line. EK. Everything they do, not only with the scoring, but their rebound work as well. And he comes up empty on that trip. And look at EK. EK wants to take Sherrill on the box. The spin. Everything but the finish. Another offensive rebound and the stick back. Grant Foster.
And that's competition yet that we've seen with Alabama, already having played, in essence, 3 top 10 teams to start the season.
Good looking corner 3, and that's good. This Alabama team, everything they've accomplished the last couple of years under Oates. Look at this ball movement. Bristow cutting back door. Miller was there for the close. Bristow creating the space.
Because of that competition.
This is Mario Saint-Supiri, the young Spanish national.
Say that again.
Playing a freshman at the point guard position, especially with the teams that they've got to face, but he really likes them.
They brought him along slow, but he has really shown that he could be a difference maker for them because he gives them a different element.
European basketball championships, so he has been under the bright lights. Here's a pullback, fine line from deep.
Love to extend their pressure, and that means their bigs are going to be out in the perimeter a lot. Makes it much more difficult to control that defensive backboard.
Great, beautiful.
Spiro, because even though Alabama also a high-scoring team, they've done it against high-powered teams to start the season. And Huff there with a
redshirt junior, Seattle kid. Mark Few telling us before the game, look, I got 11 guys who can play. Paring down his rotation is going to be a challenge. Huff continues.
Next to Drew Timme, who just signed a deal with the Lakers. And Coach Few said he really grew mentally and physically a lot tougher.
Yeah, you just consider the bigs.
Not only learn from the guys prior, but then they're able to then pass a lot of that experience on. It helps to build
contending team with what he has built. 27th season at Gonzaga. And by the way, our
son has been able to orchestrate.
Shot clock at 13 seconds. This is Jalen Warley in tight and a little floater.
Comfortably. You don't see that a lot in today's college game, but he has got the personnel to do it.
This is Fallon. Burns, Bowen. Outside, this is Ventners. On the deck, Eno Chinte. Boy, beautiful pull-up. Bulldogs cough it up right back. Fallon, good ball movement into the corner. That's a 3. Amari Allen. Offensive rebound and a putback. It's Bristow. Followed up that Final Four run 2 years ago with a 2nd straight trip to the Elite 8. Number 1 scoring team in the country. Looks early. Fight for the rebound. It's tracked down by Grant Foster. As we pass the midway point. Venters from deep. Got it. 17 per game. Here comes Grant Foster coming diagonally across the paint. And he's got a chance at 3. All-conference performer at Grand Canyon.
The point of attack defense has been terrific on both sides of the ball. There, though, Smith falls asleep. And then a terrific find.
Excited.
See Webb as well.
Some of that Motown love, that's right. We got a lot of Detroit flavor here in Vegas. EK, the spin, boy, a thing of beauty.
The defense there, and now Gonzaga is starting to get comfortable defensively here, forcing the turnover.
Here comes the Spanish national, EK.
That led to the deuce was something that Coach Oates was worried about, because this is more of a traditional offense for Gonzaga. They're going to look to post their bigs consistently.
Boy, tremendous Alabama lead, so Gonzaga went during that stretch where they missed 9 straight shots. Since then, they've hit 7 of their last 9. And EK starting to cook.
Yeah, he's got the...
Men's and women's title.
Yeah, and the question, they're not knocking them down, but they're creating quality looks here, and that's the most important thing. And how about that off-balance finish through that contact?
5th team foul against the Crimson Tide, so they got 1 more to give. What a matchup here. EK against Sherrell. He's going to pop it and stick it. Deep 3, Holloway wouldn't go, and the rebound pulled by St. Supiti. Here comes the young Spanish national.
Likes to play below the rim.
I think GA is reassessing his scouting report. EK has hit his last 10 away. Blocked. Grant Foster, terrific perimeter defense. St. Supiti, and he's fouled. It was Bol Bowen. Malaga, Spain, getting to the free throw line for 3 attempts. So great to have you with us. Downtown Las Vegas.
Syracuse showing the country that they may be back.
And
you're trying to build that competitive spirit.
This is Huff, little drop step. How good has he been in his first half? And the contingent that's made the trek from Spokane up out of their seats. Phylon buries it.
For coach's team, GA, he told me that if Alabama is playing up to its potential, his goal is not to call a
admiration for what Nate Oates has built with this Alabama team. Even his previous stops, that crisp ball movement from the Zags continues. Kept alive. That was Huff on a tap out. Such a smart play as we hit the 2-minute mark. Huff puts it on the deck to the rack and the finish. St. Supiti at the free throw line, 1-and-1. Mark Few making a substitution. David.
I talked earlier, Spiro, about Gonzaga had to adjust to EK and Huff both having a huge impact.
Phylon sets the stage for Allen, and he
a little bit more creating. I'd like to see the ball in his hands a little bit more here in the second half.
Look at that drop step and setup. EK Allen. Bottled up by Huff. Boy, just sensational defense. And then it's Sherrell. Seconds. Huff outside. Venters from deep. Got it. Nate Oates is going to hold in store for this Crimson Tide team. Here comes Phylon, his star. Little Euro step. Clean look. And that gets us to halftime. For a couple. Here's LeBaron Phylon, shot clock at 8 against EK. What a matchup. Couple of elite players. Phylon showing you what he's got in his toolbox. He's got EK. See the double team coming. EK, that's a tough fadeaway shot. Grant Foster. They continue to pummel the offense by almost 30 points. Average margin of victory, GA, to the first 5 games, 36.
In Illinois, they were battle tested, and they wouldn't be uncomfortable with what got compromised the defense and put them in rotation.
Here comes Phylon trying to find a crease, up and under, just brilliant.
I'll tell you what, there through the contact by Phylon.
Here comes Grant Foster up between 2. That's a tough shot, and he rips it back.
And you heard Coach Oates and the staff talk to Jared about this. Their guards have got to double back down and get to the backcourt. You've got to rebound.
A real vocal guy to lead this team. Obviously, they lose Mark Sears, the All-American. And so far, it has been just a gorgeous, brilliant start to the season.
This is your defense.
Chess match between these two terrific coaches, Mark Few, Nate Oates. Grant Foster, first year in the 3, the Patriot League Player of the Year last year at Bucknell. Unable to convert. Huff barreling to the rack.
Defensively, Alabama's got to figure out a way to create some offense.
LeBaron Phylon. Just when the
going to need someone other than Phylon to create some opportunities on the offensive end.
And right now, Gonzaga. Here comes St. Supiti. Errant pass Taken in the corner by Allen. Ahead of the pick, Bristow! Excellent interior defense from Bristow.
That was a great job on that side of the ball.
Here comes Fine to the cup, and he's going to shoot free throws. And as Fine hits on the first.
Bit of a concern here. Only 1 of 4. Now 2 of 5 here from the line.
Alabama team, a massive early season non-conference win. There's a turnover the other way. Here comes Allen. But appeared to be some contact, no whistle. And now 4 of 16 from deep. Fine running that 2-man pick and roll action, just too much.
And that's the one advantage.
Fine gets it back, backing down Smith. Jemison from deep. 10 mark in Las Vegas. 2 of the premier teams in the country doing battle. Corner 3, Bristow misses badly.
Something that they have not seen all season long. No opponent until Alabama has scored 10 unanswered points as Venters ends the run, but converts.
Free throw shooter early on in his Gonzaga tenure, the freshman. MGM Grand Garden Arena, downtown Las Vegas. Spiro Vitas, Greg Anthony, Jared Greenberg. Mention what they did last year, that 28-win team. They finished 3rd in the SEC. But obviously still early in the season, trying to figure out what they've got.
And that's part of it. Listen, they
spontaneously just saw it and immediately started complaining to the officials about that call. Here's Grant Foster by the hesitation maneuver. How good is Aaron Fine 17 of Bama's 23 second-half points. He's looking for more. Up and under. Glass, no. EK, and he's fouled by Sherens. 7 to shoot. EK doing his dance, misses, and look at the tip. Chinte. Holloway, Bristow to the cup, missed it in tight. Nate Oates, 1 and 1, too much. Offensive rebound, Allen into the corner, Grant Foster. Allen dares him to shoot. Grant Foster into the paint, missed it.
Quality of last 2 possessions starting to wane just a little bit for Gonzaga.
Holloway, splash!
And they've not allowed EK to really dictate in the half court.
Grant Foster just fish. Are paying attention. All tied at 71 with 6 and change left. For a beautiful little float game.
And you see the possessions involved with their offense, and they convert.
Holloway, offensive rebound. Huff got him from the back. Who, by the way, is still limping.
Yeah.
EK underneath, missed it, cleans up his own miss.
Tell you what, EK.
So Aiden Sherrell, the sophomore out of prolific prep, young man from Detroit.
How the game's going to this point. Can you deliver here down the stretch?
Allen knocked it loose. EK rips it back and rolls it in. Allen on the perimeter, poked away. Grant Foster. It's a foot race. He has been magnificent. Really, just a huge early season test for both teams. Huff into the paint, turns Venters. Sharpshooter.
Byline just a little out of control there.
EK. Danger zone for Alabama.
Gonzaga off the court over the course of the game off the offensive glass.
You see the run, loose ball foul here is Foster.
I just think fatigue starting to be a bit of an issue for Alabama.
Mentioned his journey, 4 different schools that he's played for. And boy, you think he's found a home and spot for the Zags.
And now they've gone to a little bit of a zone just to change up and give
Holloway,
a different
big
look.
shot.
And take your time. Make sure you get shots off, but not till the end of the shot clock.
Huff, but just a thing of beauty.
Yeah, he and EK, their bigs do such a great job with their decision making. Is Sherrell able to pick up the lead
here that's helped to transform all of these programs around the country. But you're a fan of the model.
These groups coming up, the ladies' games, I mean, high power, high octane talent on that side. There's a lot of excitement going to be on display there as well.
Jemison hits a three. So Alabama not going quietly, 31 points.
At least one of these. Gonzaga, you got to feel pretty good.
Remember this Gonzaga championship. They, of course, won the conference tournament last season.
He's got to be proud of what he's been able to accomplish in his short stint here with Alabama as well.
But I tell you what, Mark Few's had some great teams. This bunch trying to write their own script. They got their first signature win of the season as they knock off one of the elite teams in the country. And second half performance, 95-85, as they handle the Crimson Tide here in Vegas.